Your Excellency and distinguished guests. My dear wife, I have written this letter to you because I am beside myself with worry, for I have just received an order I know to be suicidal. Brigadier Johnson has ordered me to lead my near 800-strong battalion into the valley of death. I know following this order will result in a futile massacre. But to disobey command could bring me discharge and dishonor. But these are my men. They stand on my shoulders. Every mother, father, sister, daughter, brother, and son of these men have trusted their lives to me. My dear Ida, please help me make the right decision. And so it was that on the 8th of August 1915, William George Malone stood conflicted in the fields of Gallipoli. He knew his decision held the power to make or to break the fate of a nation. And like so many other New Zealanders at war, the outstanding bravery we would come to see from Malone and his men would become a pillar upon which our proud nation was built. Today, I would like to tell you his story. William Malone was a humble bloke, a true all-rounder. He grew up in the English village of Lewisham before immigrating to New Zealand, where he spent his years as a lawyer, a politician, and inevitably a farmer. When the First World War broke out in 1914, Malone's obvious leadership qualities led to him being appointed to command the distinguished Wellington Battalion. The oldest man in the battalion at age 56, Malone stood at almost 6 feet tall, and it was abundantly clear to all at Gallipoli that he was an aged, majestic kauri tree amongst the young and yearning saplings. However, it was Malone's actions on that fateful August day that would forever immortalize him and his brave group of men. Broad daylight, and with no cover, the Auckland battalion had been ordered to assault the fortified peak of Chinook Bear. Like Tennyson's Light Brigade, they loyally charged into the mouth of hell, the jaws of death, only to be annihilated by Turkish soldiers to their left, right, and center. Mounds of bloody corpses lay waste in the valley, and Malone's almighty battalion were ordered to follow in their fallen footsteps. I am not taking orders from you people. I will not have my men commit suicide on this day, Malone defiantly told his British superior. And so it was that the Wellington Battalion waited patiently in the depth of night before striking in the darkness. By delaying the assault, Malone's men were able to waltz up the summit of Chinook Bear. And from the top of that glorious peak, they could see down into the Dardanelles, the route through to Istanbul, and the path to victory. The Wellington Battalion fought bravely for the next 2 days, waiting and waiting for the promised backup approximately 700 of the brave 800 who had seized Chinook Bear became casualties during this awful, gruesome period. Among them, William Malone. His body was never identified, and to this day, his flesh rests with the very soil he fought so valiantly to protect. The capture of Chinook Bear was a remarkable feat of bravery. It did not merely embody the Anzac spirit, for this heroic deed defined the Anzac spirit. William Malone did not for 1 second give up on his men. And in doing so, he did not give up on you, on me, and on every New Zealander. We owe an invaluable debt to Malone and to every New Zealander that fought in any war at any time. Whether they fought on the banks of Gallipoli or in the blistering heat of North Africa or in the brutal warfare of Vietnam, everything they did counted. Not a day in my life will pass when I am not filled with gratitude to these outstanding men for their undying devotion to King, to country, and to fellow comrades. We will not forget.